Hey,
Yo, what up? What up?
we
What's
back.
going on?
And we're back.
And we back.
First time
we
talk.
back once again. Once again. What's up, y'all?
Another edition of Piff Radio. Welcome to Piff Radio. Have my wonderful host, Ki Marie. I'm your boy Jay Pitt. And we do have on the show today one of Carolina's finest. Eddie Ruby, what's good?
Man, I'm good. How y'all doing? Thank y'all for having me up here, man.
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
thank you for being here for real.
Appreciate you being on because
Y'all pop up here anytime y'all want to, man. I ain't never doing nothing.
we go back.
Absolutely.
And let me say that I started Piff Radio.
Yep.
Off of
Long time ago.
Iconoclast. Off of
Say
Eddie
again?
Ruby. I started
didn't know it.
radio.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea about that.
When you
Now,
gave me the
I
opportunity,
knew we did stuff back then together, but I didn't know that's when you started it. That's dope, man.
Oh,
it
that's
was
really
Long time
dope.
yeah, for real. So let me tell
Man,
you.
you have done a lot with it.
Let me tell you, when you first gave me my opportunity to perform, and then I had everybody else, Mackie,
Yep.
you know what I mean? We had all them. That's when Piff Radio started.
That's dope. Man, y'all had a squad too. Now there's a few of y'all still out here doing it too, man.
Yeah,
so
we had a lot. It was a lot of us. So yeah, I just want to show love, salute you for that,
man.
Thank
You for keeping on doing this, man. Because there's so many people out there that had so many opportunities and talent to do it, and they just didn't. It's crazy because we all came from the same era and the same area. You know what I'm saying? So we all had the same platforms to do it with. So everybody just had to find their lane, and some of them did, some of them didn't.
Right.
And you one of them that definitely you didn't just find the lane, you made your lane. So that's even more dope.
I appreciate that. And you know what? It's a crazy small world because you're a DJ. I actually went to school with your DJ, and I didn't even know he was a DJ till we first met. You know what I mean?
Philly Fresh.
Oh, wow.
Man, he is one of the most talented producers and DJs that I've ever worked with. And I've been working with him since he was 15. And dude is amazing. Like now he's not only doing stuff with me, he's actually with a band that don't get me messing with the genre. They're a bunch of my really, really good friends, but I don't know the genre. I would call them like more of a sublime, like jam band type of thing, but they'll probably get mad at me, tell me I'm wrong. But it's the Hypnotic Conquest or the THC band. You'll see their name all over the place if you're into that, that genre. They're really, really dope. And the singer for that is actually on my album I did with Pomac on a song called The Smoker. And really, really dope song. Really dope song. And it's more of a laid back, like chill smoking song. But yeah, Philly's all over the place right now, man.
That's what's up, man. Shout out to Philly, Philly Fresh. And if you ever see any videos of me performing any songs or pictures of me performing any songs, it's at the Eddie Ruger show.
I was about to say, I've got some. I know I got some.
I'm about to hit the throwback footage on what is the MySpace account? Was it?
Nah, it's out there. It's out there.
It was Facebook probably like 11 years ago.
Yeah, about 11 years ago.
Wow, y'all going way back.
I was passing flyers out. I was passing flyers out in Ray Warren in the hood around that time.
Yep.
And that's where all my traffic and my audience came from too. And that's how Piff Radio started in Ray Warren.
Because like a lot of people, because I'm who I am and where I'm from, and you're who you are, and where you're from, they didn't expect those audiences to cross. But when we were out there, it was love.
Yeah.
And that's what we were trying to prove to people. Plus, we were out there all the time anyway. So I mean, it's crazy, like the stereotypes and everything people have, when it's really like any other neighborhood gonna have their differences, but it's really a big family, man. Everybody takes
right.
And
well, speaking of who you are and where you're from, tell the audience who you are. Where are you from? Let us know something about you.
Eddie Ruger. I'm from Greensboro, Mr. 336. That's what they call me in the shirt business. That's what they call me in the music business. So that's Eddie Ruger, Greensboro, all day long.
G Burl. Does G Burl have any other nicknames besides? That's all I know is G Burl. Is there any other nicknames?
My side group, the Burrow.
Okay, the Burrow, most definitely.
BORO, the borough,
The
36
borough.
336, Tournament Town.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Tournament town.
I'll make up names, man. We can go forever on that, but that's part of my clothing line. I try to brand all kind of different names for it.
Right. So wait, okay, so we got music, clothing. You have your hands in like a bit of everything, and you seem very passionate about like all of it. So like, let's start there. We got music, clothing line. I was checking your IG out. Wrestling is big for you. So which one
Yeah.
came first?
Wrestling and rap kind of came at the same time as like when I got into them first. My
Mm-hmm.
sister gave me the first mixtape with when I was about 5 or 6. It had UTFO, Run DMC, Rob Bass, Easy Rock, Houdini, Rock Band, all kind of people. And my first wrestling match was about the same time with one of the Starcades with Magnum TA, Tully Blanchard, the Four Horsemen, Dusty Rhodes. Like I've been in both of them for a long time. But what I started doing first was rapping because I don't like getting beat up for fun. So I ain't ever gonna be able to.
You don't think you'll make it in the wrestling world? Not even a little bit.
Nope. I told Duck was one of my homies. I wanted to be a manager, and I was just so I could hit somebody with a chair. And they said, "Well, you gotta get hit back." And I was like, "Nah, I'll be a fan.
Nah, get it.
I'll be the interview for y'all. I'm good. I'm good."
Nah, I would. I don't think getting hit with chairs is really anybody's forte. You got to be a special
Nah,
sort to be
you
able
Hey,
to
I
do.
got
hit with
a
a chair for
whole
a
story
living.
on Mario 2 times, Click, Mr. Click 2 times.
That's my
But
classmate.
that's my
We
homie,
grew up
man.
together. What up, Mario?
Yeah, Mark, that is my homie, man. Like I love that dude. He's a really close friend of mine, and he does a bunch of wrestling stuff too. And that's what I was gonna say is he's braver than me because he volunteered to let them chop, and they really did. And this dude was about to die for like 2 days. So
Oh my gosh, he's
I'm gonna have
always
to
been.
tag him in this now.
Yo, he has always been like a really cool person. Like we grew up together in Lex Vegas stand up. If you don't know
Oh yeah,
Lex Vegas,
he's
that's
2 times
Lexington,
my
North
homie. Shout out to
Carolina,
Chris,
home of
man.
barbecue. You already know. Um, and little, I don't know if it's little known fact, but he sings. Do you know that he sings?
Yes, I do. He sings, produces, and raps. He is
Yes,
extremely
good. He's
talented.
still doing it. That is good to. That is really good to hear.
He sent me a beat for a theme he was doing for just to give him advice on that yesterday. And yeah, he's killing it. He's talented, man.
That's
He's
dope.
killing it.
That's dope.
That's
So
dope.
He's
like,
doing wrestling commentary too. Like he's actually commentating and narrating on the matches.
he's really funny. He was so funny in
He's
school.
hilarious.
That's good. That's dope. That is dope. I could definitely see that
Man,
being his
I
lane.
was, I was talking to Pitt. He knows I've been sick this whole past week, so I didn't
Uh,
get to go to the match I was supposed to go to. Really big match. I Clicks the one I gave my tickets to, so he could take his little
oh,
girl.
if you see him, tell him Keith said what up.
Oh, I see it. I'll definitely tell him. I said, well, he'll see this. He'll probably be in the comments.
Oh,
I'll tag
true, true. What up, Mario? I
him.
haven't seen him in quite a while, but that's what's up. So, like, all right, what? Okay, so music came first, and
Yep.
what came second?
Honestly, music and music and music. Like that's what
Okay.
was years and years and years of that.
Mm-hmm.
And probably 10 years into it before I got into the merch. And that's when we started touring. I had got my music on. This is probably going to answer a question I ain't supposed to answer yet, but I had music on Breaking Bad and music on the Boondocks cartoon. So
Mm-hmm.
we toured off that. And once we started touring, I was like, yo, I got to make extra money. We need merch. And that's where the merch came from. And it was Gorilla Grind is the definition of that. You know what I'm saying? So Guerrilla Grind basically means using your local community and local support to fight against a bigger enemy that always has the back and you don't have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what that is. So we were going town to town just selling Guerrilla Grind shirts. I wasn't even selling Eddie Ruger shirts at first. It was just Guerrilla Grind shirts. And then we did the Eddie Ruger shirts. Because one thing I've always been smart enough to realize is you can brand yourself as one thing, but if you start a brand that is bigger or more well known than yourself, you can't attach your personal music or personal anything to it. You got to separate them. Now
Right.
they could be attached in the end, but in the initial introduction, it can't be. So that's what we were doing with that. So that came second, and then wrestling was recent. Wrestling was recent because the pandemic basically. Like I started 5 years ago, and so the pandemic made me take it real serious because I had a lot of time to write. When I
Okay.
was touring, I had that much time to write.
Right.
So now I got time to write. So I'm gonna start doing feature verses. I'm gonna start doing custom music. I'm gonna start ghostwriting. I'm gonna start doing all this. And that's what happened. And so I came back and was like, you know what? since I got all these things placed on TV, let me start doing my own placements.
Yeah.
Right.
And if I could start doing my own, the only way I knew how to do it was with my wrestling homies.
Right.
And so that's what I did. And um, to answer one more, because I know we got to get moving, is basically one thing I learned is you can bring hip hop
Mm-hmm.
into other communities, but you
Definitely.
can't bring other communities into hip hop without being criticized. So
Yeah.
that's probably with any music, to be honest, but I know hip hop. I don't know the other music. So if I take hip hop to wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
every fan in there is gonna like it, whether they like hip hop or not, because it's
Exactly.
involved with wrestling. But
Right.
if I bring a bunch of wrestling fans to a hip hop show, they might not like the hip hop show. Like it's my way of getting my music out to a broader audience and my opinions and my message out to a broader audience. So
Right. You know what? In that audience, there are so many people, however, that are like trying to figure it out, trying new things, trying to figure out like what's going to be their niche or what's going to be their hustle. Like, what advice do you have for like the multi passionate hustler trying to find some
you the king
balance?
of segues.
Hmm?
You are the king of segues. You know that, right? So
It's you know, it's what I do. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of
that's
my
yeah, that was
job.
dope, man. That was dope. Like I have really simple advice for the passionate hustlers out there because that's what my music is. Like I do hustler music. That ain't talking about just drug dealing and all that. No, we do legal hustler music, whatever. I don't care if it's illegal or illegal. I don't care what you do, but we do hustling music. That's what we
Yeah,
do.
I
So
feel it.
what I say is
Mm-hmm.
play by your own rules. I
Mm-hmm.
don't pay attention to a single rule that the music industry tried to tell me was an actual rule because until you put a check in my pocket, I ain't listening. And even then, you just the person that's signed my check. You ain't my boss.
Right,
Right.
So
right.
at that point, you have to play by your own rules. And one of my most famous lines is I'm in the Ruger biz. I found out that the music biz, no, hold on. I'm in the Ruger biz, music biz, but I found out that the Ruger biz was more lucrative. So I scooped the pen and wrote the rules again. I mean, that's
Ooh, bar.
so like
Bars. I feel
I've
that. I feel
turned
that.
down 3 different record deals, but I've got 2 publishing deals. So what's the
Mhm.
balance in it? So you
Right,
have to play by your own rules. Nobody sees your vision until you show them.
Right.
right.
And that's the advice I got. Follow your dreams, never quit. You see these grades? Don't
Right.
quit. I'm in
Yeah.
my prime. So I mean, I've been in my prime for 10 years now.
Right. Look, as long as you still living, you are definitely in your prime. So like, we're not gonna
Follow
gloss
your
over
dreams,
the fact
man.
that you have been on the Boondocks and Breaking Bad. Those are two of the biggest shows that have ever graced a TV screen, and I'm a fan
Right.
Absolutely.
of both. So how did that come
Absolutely.
about? Like, that's a crazy flex.
Um, luck, like absolute luck. But see, luck is a funny thing.
Uh huh.
Luck is all that is when skill meets opportunity. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, I had a friend named, well, still got a friend, one of my best friends in the world. This dude taught me how to. He actually changed my kid's first diaper to teach me how to do it. JJ the Genius, John Jackson, my
Oh.
home. Um, he's the one who produced a lot of my first music before the Gorilla Grind series. Actually, probably 90% of the music before the Gorilla Grind series. He ended up landing a music director deal with Sony for Adult Swim for Boondocks and Black Jesus. It was either Black Jesus and Black Dynamite. So all 3 of
Mm-hmm.
them, he getting the music for that. So he needed somebody that could write fast, somebody that could write any different style of music, and somebody that could be there at any point in time. Which I was one of those people. Metaphor was one of those people,
Mm-hmm.
and there was others that we brought in. And then move on a few years later, and I had a homeboy that had been working with Selena Gomez, Miley Cyrus, all kind of people out in LA named Dub Killer, which is my man Adam. Still to this day, he's one of the people I do lots and lots of music with. He was literally in the studio doing music for Selena Gomez, and in the next studio there was some people with it might I think it was the next studio over. They were doing something for Breaking Bad, and they said, "Man, we need some electronic music that has hip hop lyrics that remind us of like Run the Jewels type stuff." Adam was like, yo, hold up, yo, no, that's what we do, and handed him a CD. And this is one of my first hard lessons. They tried to buy the song right then, and I was like, nah, you can't have my song. I'll make y'all one, but you can't have this because I thought that I wasn't gonna get the creative control over that song. When in reality, they were just licensing it faster. But we
Yeah.
ended up. This is back when I was doing other things, so we ended up in a house with no power across the street from where we were at, with an extension cord across the street. And Literally had to do it so we could charge the laptop. We had 2 hours to write, record, get it done, and get it sent back in. We did it in a trap house for Breaking Bad.
What? I was
That's what
listening to that song, so that was
Like,
recorded in a trap house, in the
yeah,
trap,
and
in
sent
the
it out.
trap.
So, and
they
that's
said with the extension cord
Wow.
going across the way.
y'all gonna see me walk out to the car real quick, but we good, man. So, and then after that, I still work with. That's Adam is actually one of the people who helped me learn what I needed to learn to get my publishing deals.
Mm-hmm.
So I will see y'all in a minute. I love y'all. I'm going to get the other little one. All right. So once that happened, hold on, dude. I'm going to get your sister. Hold on.
He's a family man, okay?
They try to get me to take the dog. Oh, they know because we getting ready to get into the Hip Hop Dads brand here in a minute.
Hip Hop Dads
So,
brand?
Yeah, I need to be a part of that.
Look, man. Hey, y'all should know by now. I know. Hey, I'm all in it. Give me 2 seconds to get in this car, man, and we're going to get started.
Take your time.
I need to be a part of that. Whatever you're talking about, the Hip Hop Dads, I need to be a part of that.
Hey, when we get on this on the clothing line, hold on, let me get this so y'all can see me. See, look, man, look, even more professional now.
It's the car professional. That's like a new thing.
I gotta get my key. Hold on.
Yo, I love that. Like, it's a car professional now. Like, it's kind of like it's not necessarily totally out of pocket to be sitting in your car and doing an interview because of the way the world is changing. I think that's pretty dope. Because I'm a content creator and I do lots of content. Most of my content really in my car.
Man, look, entertainment value, man. Y'all just want to see how fast I was. So, but yeah, with the Breaking Bad thing, Adam taught me all the stuff to where I could start doing my deals and getting them to where I could do the wrestling stuff myself.
Right. Don't you love how things work out like that? Because you said the studio was like right next to the other studio.
Right.
Oh, that was on purpose back then.
Wow. And then you ran an extension cord out of the trap to even charge up the laptop and do the music. That's called hustling. That's called grinding. That's called commitment.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it was for Breaking Bad. Hold on, I'm gonna have to turn my light on. I didn't know it was gonna do that to me. Hold on.
Can you drive with the light on? Ain't that illegal?
Let me see if we can get it on here. There we go.
How many placements do you got?
How many what?
How many placements you got?
I've got.
Your service
you breaking up
right now.
You Breaking Bad right now.
Hey, all right, there we go. So I got about 52, including the wrestling ones.
Wow.
52?
Can y'all hear everything good? No.
Yeah, we can hear you, but your video in slow motion.
There we go. I tried to see if I could fix something with the light, and that was my fault. I didn't know it was gonna pause everything.
Oh, we can hear you. We can hear you now. I think it's a delay on your video though.
No, that was me messing. That was me messing with the light. I was trying to figure something out, and it messed with our phone a little bit. But I didn't mean to. Is it still a delay?
No, it's all good. It's all good.
You got 52 placements?
Yeah, including the wrestling ones, and like random like podcast intros and commercials and stuff like that. I got 52, somewhere like not quite 55 placements.
What's the
That's
biggest?
awesome.
You can name that. What's the biggest?
You've been doing this. What'd you say, Jay? I'm sorry.
What's the biggest placement you got? Is it Breaking Bad? Boondocks?
Either Breaking Bad or the Boondocks. I would say, as far as like the song itself and the exposure the song got, Breaking Bad. Money wise, probably Breaking Bad too. Yeah, Breaking Bad was definitely the biggest one. Because the thing with Breaking Bad, the way these placements work, you get paid for the amount of time it plays your song. You get paid for the amount of time it plays the beat, and you get paid for the lyrics. So you get paid 3 to 4 different times on every song. So the fact that they played it and looped it again, so when the dude went outside, it played, was awesome.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. I just need one little track, one little something in the studio, and if they loop it a couple times, I get paid every time they loop it.
Yep. Yeah.
That
But you gotta have your paperwork and everything right though. So that's the problem with it.
Look,
man, hold on. Let me turn with these
I
lights.
think
I
can
gotta
do
be able to see you, man. I can't do the dark thing. Hold on. There we go. All right. I'm just gonna do it old school.
Hey, hold on.
Hold on 1 second. You done froze on us. I mean, it's freezing outside, but don't freeze us out.
Yeah, but we can hear you.
Turn my camera. All right. How I'm gonna turn the camera this way? Let's see. Like that?
Oh,
there
okay.
We go.
We can see you.
You right. It is giving old school vibes. It's definitely giving old school, like you about to start freestyling.
Hey, I will.
Okay. We got some beats ready. All right, so you've been writing for wrestling, you've been writing for shows, you've been writing your own music. Can you speak to like the distinction between writing for mainstream versus other styles?
Between mainstream and what else?
Versus other styles, because you got a very like diverse pen. You've been writing for.
I've always been told that's a hard question because I've always been told that I'm too mainstream for the underground and too underground for the mainstream. So it's the mainstream is harder to write for because people have the weirdest descriptions of what they want. Like I've been told that I need to write a song that is more of a pop hip hop song that's supposed to sound like Imagine Dragons and Kendrick Lamar together. That don't work. But you got to learn how to talk to these people that don't necessarily know about the music you do and see if you can fit it into that puzzle that they see the vision of.
Right.
So I would probably say, I mean, underground, you can get away with calling it underground experimental and do anything. So I would say mainstream is definitely the hardest one to nail down because they got a certain vision of what they always want.
So what's your how do you structure a wrestling theme song?
You said structure it?
Yeah, like how do you come up with that?
Hold on, let me turn this up real quick. You said how do I structure it? Is that what you said?
Yeah, and how do you come up with a theme song for a wrestler?
I talked to them for probably, man, a good 2 weeks before we even get started on it to come up with their like their character and what they want the fans to do when it comes out.
Yeah.
And then you have to make sure that the fans are either going to boo or cheer them first. So you got to get to know their character. But the main difference between a wrestling theme song and a normal song, they have to know what it is as soon as it hits. It can't be about it's not necessarily about your lyrics all the time. It's about the feeling they get when that first note hits or the first couple of notes hit. They've got to know who it is.
Yeah.
And then you have to figure out if they want the people to chant a certain thing and be able to work that chant in to a song as far as a hook or a bridge, or you have to figure out if they want the people to boo and say something back. Like for example, I had a guy that was doing like I believe it was a bad guy liberal gimmick. So he was doing like the fans would just yell, "Let's go Brandon" at him all the time. And so I wrote it to where it was basically I'm the last man standing, and his name rhymed with it. So I was like, when they all hear me, they say, "Let's go." And it was supposed to be what the dude's name was, but the crowd yelled Brandon. So if the crowd didn't yell, they'd have to hear his name. So it worked either way. So you have to, it's a really, really, it's not just rapping over beats and saying the dude's name. Like that's what got us so successful at it, because that's what a lot of other people were doing. There's guys out here like Montezi, who's one of the guys teaches me a lot about this, that is a genius at it. But there's other people that, John Kiernan as well. Shout out to John and Montezi. There's other people that literally just want a wrestler to use their song. That ain't gonna work. Like you can't just go in there and play your single for a wrestler. Like that's just like
right.
That's what they're doing already. They're doing songs on radio, and you're not getting paid like these other dudes are getting paid. So you need to make them something that they can merchandise off of,
that
sell their gimmicks, sell their
what they got going on.
Right.
That's interesting. I wouldn't think. I never thought about that, because there are some entertainers in wrestling who get booed because they're the bad guy. They know they're the bad guy, so they have to have something that is very tailored to that. Like, you
Yep.
have been doing this so long. What advice do you have for like artists and creatives that want to follow a similar pathway? And, you know, how would you tell them to pace themselves and maintain the longevity so they don't just like blow and then that's the end of it? Then it's like all there.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
that's the other part of the game, man. You always use Mike Jones as an example. Mike Jones blew up real fast, so he's on a pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't have a foundation when you're on a pedestal. If you build grassroots from the pyramid style all the way up to the top, even if you fall a couple notches down, you've got a huge foundation to fall on. If you knock yourself off a pedestal, there ain't nothing to fall on but the ground.
Right.
And so longevity comes from word of mouth and just grassroots support, really. Like, even at the biggest form of success, it's still grassroots people that are the most successful doing it.
Right.
Right.
So what did you think about when you first started doing the shows 10, 11 years ago? I don't know how long you was doing it before I met you, but what made you start doing those shows, especially for local independent artists?
Man, hold on, let me figure out why this camera is it still froze?
Yeah,
But we can hear you.
I told
All
you.
right,
I
so
feel good.
what made you start doing shows for independent artists? Can you see it now?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. I'm just gonna turn it till it's not freezing. Basically, I didn't have anybody doing it for me. So once we started touring off of everything we were doing with Boondocks and all that, we came back and I started doing shows for everybody around here because there was nobody doing it and there was nobody paying people. Even if it's $25, $30, you should get something when you leave the club. You shouldn't just, I mean, I don't know. It's crazy the way things work in the hip hop business. I've been paid since my first show. So when I started seeing people talk about how they were paying to play and like, it's crazy. Like, every once in a while you got free shows, but you should never pay to do a show.
That makes sense. I have an old one of my theater teachers back when I was at A&T, Aggie Pride, and she said, "You know why artists so broke? Because you keep doing free shit. Stop doing free shit. You
Yeah,
won't be broke."
for
That
real.
reminds me of that. That's a lot of pride in your work and a lot of belief in yourself to be able to put your foot down. Like, yeah, no, I'm not doing this for free. I got bills to pay. I got a life I want to live,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's that.
And I came from a hustling background, like legal and illegal. Like that's what I did my entire life. Like not the illegal part. That's when I was younger. The legal
So
hustle
hold
was
on
most of
now.
my life. But the legal hustle was most of my life. Like, I had to find a way to make something out of nothing all the time.
Yeah.
Like, even with the merch, like the merch, I didn't have any money to do the merch. I ain't have any money to do music. You go to a concert, you make money, you put that into the studio, you sell the albums, you flip the albums and make the merch. The merch pays for your next album.
Right.
Ooh, right. That makes a lot of sense.
They got backing and they ain't got backing and this and that. You ain't got to. We're independent. You ain't gonna have backing until you get signed. And when you get signed, they're gonna take that right back from you.
Right.
Wow. That makes a lot of sense, though, using one business to fund the other business and kind of tossing it back and forth. And by the way, I can't gloss over the 336 line because that's where I'm from. And so I saw the gray sweatsuit and I just, you know, where can we find Gorilla Grind and the 336 logo at first things?
GorillaGrind.com. GorillaGrind.com's got the clothes. EddieRuger.com's got the music, and they basically all have everything. If you really go to it, they go to the same website. They just go to different parts of that website.
Because I need that cool gray sweatsuit. I was like, oh, with the 336 on it. And I do good promo too. So, you know, be all over my tiki-taki, by the way.
Hey, we can work something out for sure. And the 336 is crazy because that's one of the ones that took off when I learned about the branding. I was like, yo, this is way bigger than Eddie Ruger. So I can't put 336 and then put Eddie Ruger on it because ain't nobody gonna buy it. Like, they buy the 336 stuff.
Right.
That's good that you understand that though without taking it personal.
You can't, man. As long as I've been in this, man, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But because a lot of people, man, they just don't, they're going to take it personal if you buy something else more than their name. Mm-hmm. So
So real quick before we get into the next question, do you still do shows out here?
Yeah, I do about probably 5 or 6 shows a year, man. We got one this Saturday at the Flatiron. I'm about to plug my phone up, so if it freezes, I'm just gonna turn it.
Oh,
But I
at the
got,
Flatiron. I used to go.
yep, I got
That's my
this
spot.
Saturday.
Okay.
We've sold out every show we've done at the Flatiron for the last 2 years, and that's why I love that place. It's small enough to where you can do stuff like that, but it's big enough to where you can actually get a decent crowd in there. And it doesn't look like at the Blind Tiger, you got a 500 or well, what was the Blind Tigers? Hangar 1819 now. You got like a 500, 600 person capacity. You put 200 people in there, it looks empty. You know what I'm saying? That's a good concert. 200 people. So,
yeah, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, that is a lot of people.
But let me see, they coming out. All right, let me go and pull down here. So, basically, we just do shows with our friends now. I know it sounds crazy, but like during the pandemic kind of killed all of it. So I was like, you know what? We're just gonna book our homies now. Like that's what we're gonna do.
Smart.
I was gonna say that's what we about, okay?
Yeah, that's smart though.
And that's
hold
actually not crazy. That's actually pretty smart. Putting your friends on.
Everybody get a look.
Well, it's funny because if it was anybody else that was just booking their friends, it would fail miserably because you can't just book your friends on a show. The fact is that most of my friends are very successful musicians.
They say they gotta be solid.
You know, it'll be like me and OC from NC and me and Rozzy, and like it's a whole group of just successful musicians.
So are they all a part of Iconoclast Crew Entertainment?
Not anymore. Mainly, hold on, I'm trying to get my there we go. Hold on, girl. What's up? I'm on an interview, so you part of it now.
Oh, welcome.
So
You're in my presence now.
All right, so we actually have our own businesses. So all of the people that used to be Iconoclast are still Iconoclast as far as like the crew. But now Ty Brew has his own clothing line and his own company and his own record label. And Philly has the band and my stuff, and he's doing his own production. And then Stitchy has his own clothing line and his own record label. So we're still a crew and we still do everything. But we've kind of branched off to where we all do our own thing and come back together for these shows.
Right. And are the shows a part of the Iconoclast Crew Entertainment thing, or is it you guys, like you said, independently all kind of come in for the show? Because from what I was gaining understanding about Iconoclast, you got music for podcast wrestlers and commercials. And again, like I said, it's a very diverse pen. Like, what's going on with Iconoclast Crew Entertainment as of like now?
Gorilla Grind is what all of that is. So Gorilla Grind is all of the custom music, the clothing, the graphic design, the shows. I mean, not the show. The shows and me, Stitchy C, Philly Fresh, and Ty Brew together are Iconoclast. But when I branch off and do all the stuff I've been doing now, it's all Gorilla Grind.
Oh, okay.
Because everybody from Iconoclast is doing their thing. They ain't doing the wrestling thing, and they ain't doing they got like Mightier Than the Sword. They've got, which is Ty Brew's, and BHBJ, which is Stitchy's. So everybody's got their own thing.
Right. Speaking of your own thing, however, didn't you just drop a single in November?
I've dropped a single about every 3 weeks for like 2 years. So the last one I just dropped, November was Speak, which is with my homie Chubby Jag, and that's I got shirt on right now. Speak, bam.
That one.
Yeah. So I've got the Speak merch on right now, but that's with my homeboy Chubby Jag, who is one of Cassidy's artists from the Goat Gang, and he's actually got a really big battle coming up against Show Off dropping here really soon. And he's been on songs with Dave East, Chris Brown, Ty Dolla $ign, all kind of people. And then the one that dropped a couple of days ago is with Platinum Max Caster, who is the guy I was telling you guys from All Elite Wrestling that is the current tag team, one of the tag team champions there. So.
And what's the name of that single, by the way?
Sorry about that. That one is Barely Flexing, and that one's got a video. Yep, and the video's out right now everywhere, called Barely Flexing. Matter of fact, you could probably literally just type in Barely Flexing on Eddie Ruger without my name, and it comes up because I think that's the only song by that name. So
and you said it's streaming everywhere?
Yep, that one's streaming everywhere. As far as streams, I don't put all my music on streaming platforms, so it's when the singles drop, they're probably already technically been out for a few months on my site. which is where I do most of my business at, is going to be direct to consumer on eddieruger.com. You can get the full album out ROI right now. It won't be out on streaming platforms for probably another 6 months because we're doing it single by single, and we've dropped about 4 or 5 off the album. So we got about 6 more before we actually put it on there.
Before we straight drop it. Okay.
Yeah. And
so
the reason
ROI, what does ROI stand for? Because I was checking you out and I was like, what's ROI? I feel like I missed out on it.
Return on investment.
Oh, and so it means okay. Okay.
Yep.
And how did you come up with that concept?
Let's see. I came up with that concept because basically I'm trying. Is it still from?
Nope. Now you're good.
All right. So we came up with that because basically I'm trying to get everything I feel I'm owed from the music industry that I didn't get when I was underground, which I'm still underground. But now I do what I want and I make my own rules. So I'm trying to get my return on investment. And if you see the album cover is actually me and A. Star. Shout out to A. He produced every song on the album and most of the wrestling entrances too, man. That's my partner. Like, that's my homie.
So team.
Basically, it's a picture of me and him running into a vault, grabbing a whole bunch of gold and money, and the whole album is made to where you can listen to it front to back, and it's like a story of us going in the bank, taking our stuff, leaving, and then making it out with everything. That's the story of the whole album. But you can also listen to it single by single, and we made it like that on purpose because of the atmosphere we're in with the music industry. But let me talk about streaming for a second.
Okay.
The reason I don't do streaming is because we did close to 300,000 streams just on Spotify this year, right? But I still made more going direct to consumer, selling a fraction of the amount of music on my site that I did on streams, and still made multiple, much more, like multiples of the amount of money I would have made streaming. So with 1 million streams the past 2 years, I've made barely $1,500 on the streaming sites, maybe a little bit more than that.
Wow.
But I can sell 150 albums and make that no problem. So think about it. That's crazy.
That is crazy. I wasn't expecting to hear that number, that low of a number for all the streams like that. A lot of people do think like streaming is like God, streaming is everything, but you definitely are proven wrong. Another
thing I want to tell artists that I should have told them in the advice part is do not pay attention to the numbers at all. Don't pay attention to numbers, because all that is, first of all, if your video got 3 people, 3 views, what you worry about? That's 3 people. That means nobody else saw it. You ain't got to worry about what nobody else thinks, because only those people saw it.
True.
But my whole point about it is, if I get, say, 1,000 streams, but I'm selling 500 albums, is that because everybody's already got my album? You see what I'm saying? If you promote a song, if you release a song, release the single, release the lyric video, release the flyer, put a real video out, you've done every single thing you can do for that single. So as long as you do justice for every single thing you put out, the numbers don't matter. Right. You have done every single thing you can do to get that in front of people. And you can't downplay yourself for that, trying to please people for numbers that pay you a fraction of a cent.
Right. So it sounds like you're talking about getting a return on your investment.
Yeah, exactly. And I teach my daughter this a lot. She's like, well, these guys are famous. I'm like, yeah, but do you see that shirt they wearing?
That part.
She's like, yeah. I said, yeah, these guys are famous. Who made that song for them?
That part.
So it's different.
Right.
I mean? There's different perspectives. There's different perspectives on how you gotta look at things.
Yeah.
Right. So
you reminded me. Oh, wait, are you frozen again? Can you hear us?
Yep, I can hear y'all. Just turn
okay,
it
good. So you reminded me of somebody I might know possibly, because you got you hustle, you grind, you got multiple passions, you are following through, you don't let the moment pass. What's your zodiac sign?
Aries. And she's laughing. What are you laughing about? What's your zodiac sign, girl? Hold on.
Virgo.
Hey, come over here.
Oh, she's
Virgo.
Virgo.
There you go. She's a Virgo.
Virgos are cool. I'm a Gemini. Virgos and Geminis are besties.
Oh Lord. I'm sorry. So I'm an Aries. Don't know nothing about it. Like that, No, I don't know. I don't know nothing. Don't get me lying.
It's a fire sign, and you do come out very fiery, but you're on fire with everything that you do, and you, like I said, you don't let the moment pass. You literally like stomp on everything you do. You stepping on necks the whole way, and you, like you said, you make up your own rules and you do you, and it's obviously giving you the longevity, the accolades, and the peace knowing that you're doing what you've been meant to do this whole time. So yeah. Definitely. All right, I got one last question because
I hope it aligns with the sign then.
Wait, I couldn't hear you say that again.
I said I hope it aligns with my sign then.
It does.
If the stars are in the line.
It definitely does. All right, so I want to hold you too much longer, but I got one more question. This is my boy Hobby's question. Shout out to Hobby.
Hey.
Team. We ask everybody this question, and it just gets him real riled up. Do you like pineapples on your pizza?
I don't like pineapples, period. But my wife loves pineapples on her pizza.
What?
So I have to end up dealing with like weird little pineapple sauce floating on my side of the pizza and all that. Yeah.
That's not weird. That's crazy.
That's no good.
Like, you don't eat pineapples at all?
No, but I like pineapple juice and I like pineapples and smoothies and stuff, but I don't like pineapples in general, like just by themselves.
Wow, I've never heard of anybody that didn't like pineapples because I feel like it's a pop culture thing. Because what was that one song way back that came out?
And that's why I'm underground, because y'all trying to make me eat pineapples.
You gotta expand your horizons, man.
Hey, I don't eat pineapples on pizza, so you ain't gotta worry about that.
Y'all crazy. Pineapples go hard on pizza.
Hey, you know Shay is going to never invite me back, but I'm gonna tell y'all. Look, next time we're gonna have to do it before 8 though.
Bet.
Right.
No, we all get that.
Nah, that's why
we talked about this all week.
100%. So, like, before we go, where are your social media handles? Where can our audience find you? One more time.
All right, on TikTok, it is the @ and just Eddie Ruger, EDERUGER.
Yeah.
On Twitter, it is the @ of Twitter and Instagram. It's @ED_ERUGER. And on Facebook, it's just Eddie Ruger and Eddie Ruger Music. You can go to eddieruger.com. You can go to gorillagrind.com.
Very well. Dang, Ed E. Ruger, we have really enjoyed having you. Seriously, we definitely enjoyed having you. And if you could you give us a drop for Piff Radio so we can go ahead and get our sound bites rolling, get the marketing going? You know how we do.
Absolutely. Y'all want me to do it with this lighter? Y'all want me to do it when I get home? I'll be home in 2 minutes.
Jay, that's your call. What's up?
Well, we can wait till you get to the crib.
All right, because I'll be, like I said, I'll be home in 2 minutes. I'm about to pull on my street now. Well, maybe 3. I don't know. My timing sucks, but I'm pulling on my street. Hey, so, man, is there a way to mute my little girl in the seat? Is there a way to like mute her but not me?
Don't try to silence her. Don't silence her.
Don't silence.
So look real quick though. How are you able to keep the pace that you have after all these years to still be putting out a song every 3 weeks? How are you still able to do that?
That's work.
You mean as far as like music or everything?
Everything. I mean, look at right now we're doing an interview and you in the car with your daughter. Like you still doing everything. So
Gorilla grind, man. Gorilla grind. That you got to do it.
Got to do
it. Earlier today, they were asking me what I was going to do if I had the flu during the show. I'll run the show from the car. Like am I frozen or anything? I did it. All right. I'll run the show from the car. Yeah. Billy and Stitchy can do the money and everything. I'll make sure they get on. Like we're gonna do it regardless. Like Gorilla Grind, that's what you do. But you just have to. You have to have it in you to do it. You gotta want it. Like for instance, if I had $1 million job, I would still go home, clock in, and write a song. I mean, clock out and write a song. I clock out, go home, and write music. I would just do my $1 million job and pay for everything else with my job.
Right.
So
right. Definitely get that, making your job like your the job pays for the music, most definitely. You just check me a little bit because I
Music would be my main thing.
could use that. I could definitely use that.
You could use what?
And see, when it comes to the merch, my thing is the brand names always used to drive me crazy, man. Like I've never been a brand name person. I've never been a shoe person. That's what drives Philly crazy. So I was just like, yo, I can make clothes that people would want to wear just as much as this. I might go through this little dead spot here in 2 seconds, but it'll go fast. But
Thanks for heads up.
at least I know the spots now. But yeah, it's like I just thought I could make as much or as many cool designs as they could, and so far I've been right. I like wearing my clothes better than I like wearing Nike, better than I like wearing Adidas, and it's not because they're Nike and Adidas. It's just I don't like the designs as much as I like mine.
Right.
Because if you don't like it, who gonna like it?
Exactly. And I've always, speaking of being a hustler, I've always been one of them people. If I buy it, somebody else gonna buy it.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love like the lessons you're giving on believing in yourself. Like there's no part of you that says like, oh, my little this, or like, oh, I was kind of sort of over here doing that. You very much like, this is what I do. I run my own show, and who gonna stop me?
Yeah, and like I said, I'm only local because I live here. That's it.
Ooh, okay.
I guess. I mean, I'm in 188 countries just on Spotify, and Greensboro is my 25th listened to city. If that tells you anything. So
that's good shit though.
Right. Okay.
But
numbers don't lie.
What's your top though? What's your top 3?
Hold up, real quick. My top 3 what?
Cities that you're listening in.
Talking about top. What was it last time? It's funny because me and the girls talk about it all the time.
It's like European countries.
One of them was European, like somewhere in Europe, Chicago, and one of them was San Francisco, I believe.
New York.
Was it New York?
I think it was New York.
It's either New York, Chicago is always up there. I don't know why. It's a very cool city, so I appreciate that. But Chicago is always one of them. We got. Let's see, who else we got? Chicago's always one. San Francisco's always one. Seattle, that's what it is. It's Seattle.
Welcome back.
Right, so I'm home.
Okay, I'm like, there he is. There he is.
Welcome back.
You heard her get out and leave, right? She's like, I'm out. I'm tired of this interview. I am done.
Hey, it's good that your daughter know the cities that you're the top in.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties. He'll be right back.
Yeah, he'll be all right. He'll be right back. He comes to the drop in just a second.
Well, there you go, right there. Boom.
Okay, bad. Well, while we're waiting on it, right quick, I want to answer your question, Jay. Like, what he was talking about earlier, how you clock out from your $1 million job and go do your passion. He checked me a little bit because I work a lot. I do a bunch of different things, but then when I get home, I'm just exhausted. But I gotta find that extra energy to get back up and write because I'm in the middle of a few writing, projects right now. So
I have a very, very weird. Well, I guess it's not weird because I'm sure a lot of people do it. I literally can sit by myself in the dark with my phone and my headphones and write everything I need to write. So that's just me. And I like being by myself more when I write than with other people. So it's just easier for me to get back up in those parts of the day when most people are tired. Because that's my wind down time. That's what I do.
I need my wind down time be like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Mine too. I can do that then. You know what I'm saying? Like if I can't go to sleep, I can put the headphones in and write. Like my wife has caught me with like my phone on my chest with songs in the middle of it, and I'm like, y'all don't even remember writing this, but it's dope.
That's
dope.
What I was saying before you had went out was it's dope that your daughter know the cities that you're most listened to in as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I teach them all that. My daughter is my oldest right now is busier than me, man. She's done the national anthem for a couple of big 5K races downtown. She's been in the Coliseum with her chorus doing the national anthem with her chorus group for ESPN3 for UNCG.
Wow.
In theater right now, she's been in The Wizard of Oz. She's in Rudolph right now. She was in Matilda, High School Musical Junior. Like she's killing it, man. She just made all county and all state chorus. So
congratulations. Yay.
And she don't listen to me for nothing. She acts like she don't listen to me for nothing. But then, as y'all can tell, it
Oh yeah.
settles in, gets it, and I just want her to know that both of them. Like a lot of people are gonna tell you that theater ain't cool. A lot of people gonna tell you that what you like ain't. They told me I couldn't rap for the majority of my life. I still get people that know me from outside of rap that come up like, yo, you still do your little music thing? No, I own 4 businesses. One of them happens to be music.
Well, ain't nothing little
One
about
of,
what I do, period, at all.
one of them just happens to be that little music you talking about. Actually, I'm sorry, 2 of them now.
You know what? Okay, this really is my last question because now because we have something in common. I have a 12-year-old daughter and she is a creative. I'm in the performing arts, but she's definitely more into like the visual arts. Advice for parents of creatives, because you seem to cultivate your children's interests and they seem to be very interested in what you do as well.
Well, I have to get advice from my wife a lot of times because me being a performer, I'm harder on them than I should be about practicing and getting it right and things like that. But you have to be at some point. Like but you got to find a balance. Whereas my wife will be like, "Hey, just let her do it on her own time. If she misses it, she'll learn. Like that's part of it." Whereas I already learned it, and I don't want them to have to do that. But you got to.
Yeah.
But another thing about it is you just have to let them do what they want to do. Like you can't be like, I'd rather you do this one or I'd rather you do that. Now we have in the past given her advice on which ones we think would benefit her more as far as getting into the art schools that she wants to get into in like high school and college. But it's ultimately her decision. And theater in general was her decision. That's what got her got her through the pandemic. I mean, it's being on stage. So, but yeah, it's crazy. Whereas my little one, she don't even like being on stage. This is gonna be her first year that she volunteered to be on stage.
So
Yeah,
basically, like go ahead and having them, letting them make their mistakes, giving them room to make mistakes, but also being there when they fall and make
but
sure you allow them to do what they want to do and try not to like put your hand in it too
But there's
much.
also a big difference that we've like part of that balance, and this is what you'll know. You'll start seeing things in her that a performer wouldn't, and you'll be like, "Yeah, I get it, but she needs to do this because I understand that." Like, for example, she wasn't on stage as much, and it was getting to her, so we had to find a different way to get her on stage. And my wife was like, "No, she'll be fine. Just keep her busy doing other things." No, we had like it's the stage. You've got to get her on the stage. That's where she vents. That's where she opens up, and that's how I am. And that's why I was like, me, no matter what's going on in this world, when I hit that stage, everything leaves.
That
And
sounds, oh man, that sounds just like me. I feel
and
the
I saw
same
that in her
way.
eye. Like the first time I saw her actually perform, not at school, like in the theater, I saw it in her eye. This is what she needs. Like this is not just needs as far as like her life, but just in general.
Right,
Like,
right. She got bit by the bug, as we call it.
yep, yep.
Cool. But look, all right. So we're really not taking up any more time. Let's get that drop for Piff Radio one time for the one time. Let's go.
Yes, sir. It's your boy Eddie Ruger. Shout out to Piff. Hold on. What do y'all want me to say exactly? Do I have a script or can I say whatever?
You
you
say
say
what you want
whatever.
to say.
All right,
Yeah, you
got
say whatever.
it. It's your boy Eddie Ruger. Shout out to Piff Radio, Gorilla Grind, EddieRuger.com. Make sure y'all get all the albums. Watch every single episode of this podcast. Watch everything Piff Radio does. Put your albums up here. Make sure you get these little sponsor things right here at the top where they at. You know what they need. Grab all of them, man. These are good people. Very, very influential radio station around here, online and everywhere else. So Piff Radio, thank y'all. Eddie Ruger, let's go.
Yeah.
So,
Come on.
And I'm plugging something
Thank
else
you
because we
so
never
much
said
for
it. Because
coming
I
out.
plugged in anything. Tell Shay we're gonna be a little bit over, but it's all right.
I
Look,
know.
all right.
She
So
gonna have to do just a little bit of splicing and dicing,
she gonna
dicing and
splice all the
splicing.
stuff that was in the car. That's all she gonna do. Like every time I turn the camera, she gonna splice it. But no, the hip hop dads thing. So the hip hop dads, because you have a 12-year-old and you'll like this, and Jay Pitt already knows a lot about this, probably, I'm sure. Well, no, you said you didn't.
yeah, I want to know about it. Yeah, because I got a 16-year-old and a 9-year-old.
When I had my first little girl, 11 years, well, now it's 13 years ago, 13 years ago. I'm trying to do the pregnancy numbers. I think she got pregnant with 14 years ago. and she's 13 now. What happens with men in math, right? Mansplaining pregnancy, you love it. All right,
Okay.
so basically, I always heard that you couldn't have kids and be married in hip hop. You couldn't do none of this. So I was like, oh, cool. Well, I'll just sit back and book these shows and do the TV music and whatever. So I dropped a song with my homeboy Ritz, who is signed to Tech Nine. Big song, one of the biggest songs I've ever done. Well, everybody started asking me about the album, and I was like, I ain't think y'all wanted nothing. Like, I'm a dad now. You know what I'm saying? And I realized right then it clicked. I was like, yo, there is a demographic for not necessarily family rap, but rappers that have families in general and love their families and want to talk about their families. So I put hip hop dads out and it took off. So I've got a whole line of hip hop dads, hip hop moms, and hip hop kids with my clothing line. What? And yeah, I've got 4 different designs. One of them is actually the Yo MTV Raps. It says Yo Hip Hop Dads, Yo Hip Hop Moms. The other ones are 3 originals, but part of my clothing line is I do different designs that kind of give, inspire. I inspired from these certain things. Like I've got the Yo Hip Hop Dads one. I've got a Friends logo that says grind. I've got the Breaking Bad one because I was on Breaking Bad. The logo that says Gorilla Grind. I've got a Good Day shirt which says it's a cookout logo. It says Good Day on it. Like there's a lot of stuff that we've done to give. One of my biggest sellers is actually a Cheerwine logo that says Carolina and 336 on it. So we kind of give a little nod to a bunch of Carolina legends and some of our favorite TV shows that we've watched and worked with. So, but yeah, so the Hip Hop Dads one was dope, and y'all go check out GorillaGrind.com. Y'all see all of it.
Definitely gonna check it out. Most definitely. I'm a hip hop mom, if you will.
Yep, and see that's one of the ones I was gonna talk to you about. So we could work something out with that one.
Look, hit me up. You got the ad. We're gonna chat.
Let's do it, man. And thank y'all for having me and putting up with me in the ride on the car and all that, man. It's grind.
No, this is dope. This was real dope. Thank you.
I need that information for this show too.
All right, so look, this Saturday, and because I'm old, we do shows from 7:30 to 11:30 now. We ain't out here till 2 in the morning going
2, 3 o'clock. Thank you. No. Thank you.
We doing showcases and open mics. We do real concerts with real artists. It's 7:30 to 11:30. December 3rd, $10 tickets. If you get them now, I think they're $15 at the door. It's gonna sell out. It's me, OC from NC, Troy Suntala, which is also known as intern Squidward from 107.5. He's one of my homeboys, and he's a really dope artist too. He does the weekend wrap-ups on the weekend, on Fridays up there all the time. We got Kush the rapper, Ty Brew, Jada Prince. I'm trying to think. We got Prep. We got Stitchy C. I don't know how many I've named so far. I think I got them all, but I'm gonna miss somebody and they're gonna get mad.
It's a music festival. I love it.
It's gonna be 8 artists, I believe. So yeah, we try to keep it between 7 and 10, because if you do 4, it's a short show, and if you do 10, it's a long show. So you gotta keep.
Right. So, we get that. That's dope.
But yeah, so that's then, and y'all, man, y'all are always welcome. Anytime y'all want to come by, I'll put y'all on the list. That's my word. If y'all want to come film something, y'all are always welcome. Y'all ain't got to do nothing. Just show up with the camera. I'll let y'all in. It's nothing. Like y'all always welcome.
You already know. That's dope.
We appreciate you pulling up, man. That's super dope.
Hey, and I forgot his name, man. Tell the other dude we need to do a wrestling podcast.
Oh, say it.
We need to do an episode for wrestling.
Definitely, because y'all really relate on that.
He gonna see this right here. He gonna hear it too. So for sure,
I'm on it. I'm ready. So, anything else y'all got for me? I'm here, man.
I'm saying, I think that's about it. Did we cover everything, Jay? Because you could go ahead and
in the background cueing us to end it. She's giving the same questions over. And she's like, man, if you don't answer this,
all right. She about to turn the music on like the Oscar music. She about to turn it on. Jay.
Man, we about to find
what if you need to.
Yeah, we good, but we definitely appreciate you for pulling up on the show.
Of course, man. Carolina, hey, anytime, the next time for real, I'll make sure that I got an hour to just sit down and chill and not run everywhere, man. I'll make it work.
And we're gonna make sure it start before 8 o'clock too, because we already know what's up.
That we know.
Hey man, it's hip hop dad's gorilla grind. That's what my life is, man.
Facts. Carolina's finest, Eddie Ruger, man. Appreciate you for pulling up.
Hey, thank y'all, man.
Another edition of Piff Radio.
Piff Radio. Pew, 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 pew.
My host, Ki Marie. I'm Jay Pitt, man. And we out.
And we out,
Y'all,
baby.
Man. Y'all be good.
Appreciate
Spread good vibes. Be good to everybody, man.
Oh, yeah.